So we're not bipolar, okay? It's called hormones. Hey everyone, I haven't seen you all since last year, so happy new year and welcome back to my office. If you've been here before, welcome. If this is your first time here, I am so happy to have you, and I would love if you would stay. And if you'd like to stay, hit the subscribe button and join the MHM family. We have a lot of entertaining, enlightening, enjoyable times over here, I hope. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell if you'd like to be informed on every time I post a new video, and let's just get into the video. So last year on the 17th of February, I uploaded my very first video to this channel, and I wouldn't say that I was or am ashamed of that video. I'm actually very grateful for that first video because I get to see the progress that I would have made from then to now. But I would say that I was not confident in my work, in putting myself out into the virtual universe. I mean, I'm still getting a grasp of everything and I'm still adjusting to it. But back then I was very doubtful about where the video would go, if it would create an impact, if people would be interested in it. So I figured that I should redo that video because that video had so much important information in it on mental health, on mental illnesses, on the signs and symptoms of mental disorders. So I figured that I should redo that video this time with my face in it because the last one was just animations and a voice. And yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. I hope that you find this information helpful. I know that I did a Q&A last month, and some of the questions that were in that Q&A will actually be answered today in more detail. So let's get into this discussion. If you've ever heard the saying that there is no health without mental health, then you need to know that that saying is absolutely true. I don't know how many of you really understand the importance of the brain. Such a beautiful organ, such a complex but beautiful, important organ. Without the brain, we would not be able to see or hear or speak or feel and touch or have thoughts or be able to smell or move or remember. We wouldn't be able to have our hormones regulated. Most importantly, we wouldn't even be able to have a heartbeat because the brain plays a vital role in regulating and allowing our hearts to beat. So the brain is so important, so valuable, so necessary. And apart from those things, the brain also houses our minds. Now, our minds embody everything that we think, everything that we feel in terms of emotions, and it subsequently influences our behaviors. So basically, without a properly functioning brain or mind, we would not be able to function properly or even function at all in some cases. According to the World Health Organization, mental health is defined as a state of well-being in which an individual is able to recognize his or her abilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and contribute to his or her own community. So, mental health, your mind, your brain, these things are very, I cannot stress how important these things are. And one of the questions I had in the Q&A was, how do I know if I have a mental problem or a mental disorder? You see, the thing is, mental disorders and challenges are so prevalent. In fact, about 1 in 4 people will experience some sort of mental disorder or challenge at some point in their lives. But the problem is that so many of us either suffer unconsciously or we suffer in silence. Even in answering this question, I want to start off by saying that having a mental illness or any sort of mental challenge is nothing to be ashamed of. There's so much negative stigma surrounding mental illnesses, but a mental illness is a medical condition, just like diabetes is a medical condition, just like hypertension is a medical condition. Now, I'm not saying that they're all the same, but I'm saying that a mental illness is a medical condition, just like all the other medical conditions we hear about. So there is no need to be ashamed if it is that you feel that you are suffering from some sort of mental challenge. Do not be ashamed. Do not be afraid to speak up and seek help. So, with all of that being said, to define mental illnesses or mental challenges in short, I would say that these are things that negatively impact a person's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Now, some people can be impacted, let's say, in a milder way or on a more short-term basis. There are mental illnesses or challenges that might be more, short-term. But then there's the other end of the spectrum where mental illnesses can be so debilitating that a person can no longer regularly function on a daily basis. So now we'll look at some common warning signs of mental illnesses. But it's also important to note that not because you might experience 1 or 2 of these symptoms, let's say for a short period of time, or during a time where you experienced a major life event, let's say you experienced job loss or loss of a loved one, or you are going through a breakup or something like that, you might not necessarily have a mental illness. You have to remember that you or we are all humans at the end of the day. We will still have feelings. We will still undergo challenges. We will still hurt. We will still take time to process things. So be mindful of that. If it is that these symptoms, if it is that you experience any of these symptoms or a number of these symptoms for an extended period of time, let's say for a consistent amount of weeks or months, and these symptoms come to a point where they impair your ability to go about a daily life, whether it stops you from being able to get out of bed, perform simple tasks, interact with people, inhibit your eating, disrupt your sleeping, stuff like that, then you should consider seeking help or reaching out to someone. So let's get into a list of symptoms. I actually have them listed on my laptop here, so if you see me looking down, just know that I'm looking at my laptop. Some of the common warning signs of mental illnesses would include excessive worrying or fear. Like, you can't shut your worry or your fear off. Feelings of extreme sadness, or you're feeling extremely low on energy every single day for weeks, or like I said, months. If you are losing interest or pleasure in activities that used to be interesting or pleasurable to you. If you have multiple symptoms with no clear cause, for example, aches, pains, palpitations, numbness, if you're experiencing symptoms like these but you don't have a clear cause, that is also a warning sign. Problems concentrating and learning. abnormal or disorganized behavior, or incoherent or irrelevant speech, unusual appearance, self-neglect, and unkempt appearance, convulsive movement, or what we call fits or seizures, extreme behavioral or mood changes. I smile when I say this because a lot of times women especially are accused of being bipolar. We are oftentimes diagnosed or misdiagnosed with bipolar disorder because we have a mood swing. Mood swings can be attributed to hormonal changes, especially during that time of the month. So we're not bipolar, okay? It's called hormones. So not because you have a mood swing, and I mean anyone can have a mood swing, not just females, anyone. It doesn't mean that you're bipolar. You don't want to be bipolar, okay? So guys, don't wish that on your girlfriends or your wives or anybody. Don't put that on your friends. They're not bipolar. We're not bipolar, okay? Thank you. Also, if you're experiencing prolonged or strong feelings of irritability or anger, difficulties understanding or relating to other people, excessive impulsivity, difficulties perceiving reality, abuse of substances like alcohol or drugs, past or current suicidal thoughts or plans to commit suicide or attempts of committing suicide, difficulties carrying out usual work, school, domestic, or social activities. Those are signs or symptoms that you can look for in adults. In children, you can or you should especially check for delayed development in comparison to other children of the same age, abnormalities in communication, restricted or repetitive behavior, and difficulties in carrying out everyday activities that are normal for children of that age. So these are all common warning signs that you can check for if you are concerned about your mental health. Another question is, how can you take better care of your mental health? So I will just list a few things briefly that you can do to ensure that you are, taking better care of your mind. So the first thing, do not bottle up, suppress, hide, try to avoid your feelings or your problems. If possible, whenever possible, find someone that you know is trustworthy and make it a practice to talk about your feelings, talk about your problems, and ensure that you are also checking in on that person that you are venting to, because it goes both ways. You don't want to unload on someone who is not unloading on someone else. You don't want to just pile on that person, especially if they're already dealing with a lot. So ensure that you and your loved ones are taking time to talk about your problems. It helps. Secondly, maintain an active lifestyle. Now, you don't have to be the world's greatest bodybuilder or sprinter or marathon runner or anything like that. Just try to at least spend 15 to 30 minutes of intentional activity. Like, try to be active every single day, at least 15 to 20 minutes out of 24 hours. I don't think that's a lot to ask for, right? And yeah, I'm talking to myself, so don't think I'm over here judging you. I need to do better too. So yeah, maintain an active lifestyle. Also, eat and drink healthily and sensibly. That is important. Ensure that you are including all those green veggies and all those whole grains and healthy fats and all those good stuff. Ensure that you're incorporating them into your diet. I'm not saying that you can't enjoy some pizza or chocolate cake or a cookie or ice cream or cheesecake or any of that stuff. You can still do that, but ensure that you are also incorporating healthy foods into your diet. Another really good one: take breaks whenever you can and whenever you need to. Ensure that you're listening to your body. Listen to your body and let your body tell you when it is tired, when it needs to slow down, when it needs to take a break. Ensure that you are practicing good self-care and taking care of your mental and physical health. I cannot stress how important enough those things are. You will not be able to function to your best if you're not at your best physically and mentally, and emotionally. So ensure that you are taking breaks whenever you need to take a break. Stay connected with others. Do not isolate yourself. Yes, it's good to have some alone time to reflect and gather your thoughts together, check in with yourself, but ensure that you are still remaining connected with others, remaining in touch with others. Do not isolate yourself. It's not good. It would not do you any good. Also, find a hobby. Find something to do that you love doing, that you are passionate about doing, that you're good at doing. Find something to do to keep yourself entertained, healthily entertained and occupied whenever you can. And lastly, never ever be afraid to seek help. Do not be afraid to seek help. Like I said, having a mental illness is nothing to be ashamed of. So whenever you can, or if ever you feel the need to, seek help. Reach out to someone. Even reach out to me. I will leave my Instagram page where you can reach me. You can DM me if you think you need help. Message and say, Keishan, I think I need help. I'll be able to give you some sort of direction where you can find useful resources or facilities that you can try to get the proper care. I'll also leave places that you can go to somewhere in the video, at the bottom of the screen, in the description box. It'll be somewhere. So seek help whenever you feel you need the help. Do not be ashamed. Do not be afraid. Just do it. It's for your own good. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much again for tuning into this video. I hope that the information was helpful, it was useful, it was encouraging. I trust that everyone has a great year ahead of them. Again, Happy New Year. I know it's weeks old at this point, but still, Happy New Year, and I wish you all the best. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, where you would be able to find more topics that are mental health related, or just a bit of motivation or encouraging words. Ensure to like this video, share this video, again subscribe if you haven't already, and most importantly, remember to become informed on the matters of mental health, because your mental health matters. Bye bye.